Lena Taylor.
I'm David Green.
And today we are answering your real estate questions once again. So David, our question today is from Molly, and she says that her and her family are looking to move to Augusta in late June, early July, and she's wondering when should she begin her home search and how early can she write a contract on a house?
Okay, good question. So moving here, actually living here late June, early July, more than likely at that point you would probably want to come for a visit sometime in, say, mid-April. A couple of reasons why. One, you don't want to come the first week for a full week in April because the Masters, hotels are non-existent, and whatever was existent, they're really expensive. So,
and a lot of agents aren't working that.
That's correct. Yeah, I'm not. So I couldn't help you. But mid-April is a good time frame for a couple of reasons. One, inventory is at a seasonal high at that time, so there's plenty to choose from. And then finding a home in mid-April time frame, you write an offer, you counter it, you go back and forth. So you kind of get it on a contract toward the latter part of April, and it's not unusual to close. You can close in 30 days, but some sellers are willing to negotiate it a little further out, say 45 days, which takes you into mid-June, so that you're going to be here at the end of June, early July. You close around that time frame, and then you've got a week or 2 weeks before you actually arrive to actually move into the house.
And I think maybe another good thing to know, because I know a lot of people are basing that time on when they want to close on a house, thinking, okay, well, we need to be out of our current home or out of our lease so we don't get hit with 2 payments. Right? And so something to know is the mortgage, if you're taking a mortgage on a home, works a little bit to your advantage, because instead of paying rent, you pay rent in advance, a mortgage you kind of pay on the back end. So just so you could close on a home in April and your first payment's not due until June 1. Or you could close on a home in May and your payment's not going to be due until July. So that might just help you with feeling we could buy our house a little earlier than we thought.
Correct, especially like I said, if you are renting, because like you said, rent's paid in advance, mortgages are paid in arrears. So again, you close the end of April, first payment's due June 1. You close toward the end of May or middle of May, doesn't matter. You just pay interim interest from the end of May, middle of May to the end of May, but your first house payment is due July the 1st. So you do kind of get a free month.
So it's kind of nice. It gives you a little cushion there.
Correct.
So just as a general rule of thumb, whether you're looking in the summer, spring, whatever, how long would you tell people if they're very serious about buying a home, they're ready to buy a home within the next, if they're out searching, they're really to a point where they've narrowed it down. How much time would you give yourself, kind of working backwards? If we want to move in a certain date, we need to have a contract 60 days before, 30 days before, we need to start seriously looking. Is there any?
Again, it's kind of a normal around here and our customary around here to close between 30 and 45 days from the actual offer being accepted. So now if you had the time and you're within driving distance, you may want to come down in March, do some looking, scout out the area, maybe not write your offer yet, unless it's just the house and you absolutely know that's the house. Then you come back in mid-April, you've already seen the area, you know where you want to be, and then you pick a house that week. So just depends, I guess, on what your circumstances are when you have to be in somewhere and then when you have to be out of somewhere.
And as an agent, our job is to actually kind of help figure out, talk to the other agents, figure out what the seller's situation is, because sometimes there's circumstances where maybe they don't have a place to live yet, and they might be open to a little longer of a closing.
That's a good point. So sometimes, again, as agents are talking, the listing agent may say, well, hey, David, these folks would love if they could rent it back for a month, temporarily, of course, or even stay in the home, a week or so and rent it back for a couple of days. So sometimes that can work to the buyer's advantage as well, knowing that they can buy it. They're not actually moving in right away. Well, the seller needs to stay for a week or 2 weeks, having a house finished up or something like that. And so not all buyers can do that, because some buyers have to be in the day of closing. And if you're in a situation where you don't have to be in the day of closing, it may work to your advantage because the seller may negotiate a little bit more with you, knowing that they get to stay for a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, so that's a really good question.
Yeah.
And if you guys have more questions, please drop them on our Facebook page, comment on this video, and we'll keep answering them.
Sounds good. See ya.